The words hit like a hammer. You're terminated. My wife's sister, also the company's HR, delivered them with a cold finality, as if reading out a sentence. I didn't argue. I simply handed her my badge, slow and deliberate. You have 15 minutes before the system fails, I told her. Her voice faltered for the first time. Tell your father I wish him good luck. The flash of panic in her eyes was priceless. From the outside, everything had always looked flawless, a perfect triangle. Me, my wife, and her family's thriving business. I was the ideal son-in-law, the golden hire, the rising star at the company. At parties, I shook hands, smiled for pictures, and played my role to perfection. To me, the company wasn't just work. It was the future, a shared legacy. But not all promises are meant to be kept. The first signs were barely noticeable. A missed invitation to a meeting. An odd look across the conference table. My projects began slowing, budgets got cut without explanation. Then one day, I stumbled on an email thread. My name missing where it should have been. A project I had built from scratch was handed to a junior under their wing. I chalked it up to politics. I was wrong. One weekend, I overheard a phone call from behind a half-closed door in my wife's sister's room. He's getting too close. We can't let him take control. Dad's orders. In that moment, the truth slammed into me. They weren't just sidelining me. They were removing me entirely. They thought they could blindside me. But I wasn't going down quietly. I began watching, listening, collecting. Every suspicious financial report, every shady email, every record of a meeting they didn't want seen. I kept them all. And while they thought I was licking my wounds, I became a ghost inside their system. Every file I touched, I left a trail that would lead straight back to them. Days before they cut me loose, I planted a silent failsafe in the company servers, a hidden countdown they couldn't detect. It wasn't vengeance in the heat of anger. It was methodical, surgical. When the day came, I made sure the last scene played out perfectly. A family dinner. My wife, her sister, her father, the man pulling the strings. They sat across from me, smiling stiffly, the tension in the air thick enough to cut. I raised my glass. To new beginnings. Then I slid the first dossier across the table. Pages of proof, fraudulent deals, embezzlement, tax evasion, layered so tight there was no room for denial. Their faces shifted instantly. Her lip trembling, his complexion draining to pale. They sputtered half-hearted denials, but I stayed calm. 15 minutes, I reminded her quietly, before everything shuts down. And then it began. Accounts frozen, emails erased, legal documents sent to every regulatory body that mattered. The fear I'd seen earlier in her eyes was nothing compared to the storm now settling in that room. My wife sat frozen, caught between loyalty to her family and the truth laid bare in front of her. But I didn't need her approval anymore. When I walked out into the night, the city lights shimmered like they'd been waiting for me. Behind me, their empire crumbled. Company gone, reputations destroyed, control ripped from their hands. I didn't just survive their betrayal. I dismantled it, piece by calculated piece. No shouting. No tears. Just silence and precision. I wasn't the victim. I was the architect of their ruin. And this was only the beginning.